Hey everyone, this is the movie Maniac. Thank you for coming out to the special drive-in feature of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. What? Oh. I'm sorry. I thought it was 1969. And I have been trying to figure out how to review this movie without doing a 20 or 30 minute long film analysis. I've also been wondering how to explain the plot of this movie to you, so here goes nothing. The movie follows Rick Dalton and his stunt double, Cliff Booth. Cliff's career depends on Rick's career, and Rick's career appears to be fading. Rick is struggling to come to terms with this as the industry is changing and we're at the end of the golden age of Hollywood. So right away, the standout performance in this film is Brad Pitt as Cliff Booth. Do not be surprised if he gets an Oscar nomination, and if you hear people say this is one of his best or his best performance of his entire run in Hollywood. And I'm talking about real life here. The first act of the movie does feel a bit slow, and I couldn't help but wonder if maybe they could have tightened up some of the editing to make it go by a little faster. The second and third acts of the movie evolve into what you'd expect from Tarantino, and the ending is damn near perfect. So there's a lot going on underneath the surface of this film. I think the average moviegoer could come in and watch this and just kind of accept it as a fun ride in a very authentic 1969 setting with these different characters that Tarantino has sculpted. However, there are dimensions and layers to this picture. There's almost a cryptic puzzle underneath it all. Now, if I even begin getting into this and breaking it down, we're going to turn this into a 20 or 30 minute Once Upon a Time in Hollywood analyzed video, and that's not what I'm doing here. This is just a review like my other reviews, and I want to keep it in that world. But there are some examples I'll just gloss over, such as when Margot Robbie, playing Sharon Tate, walks into a movie theater that her character that she's playing is on the screen for, and we follow her into this theater, much how we're in a theater, as she sits down, reacts to what's on the screen, as we are watching and reacting to her watching another film. I could spend at least 5 or 10 minutes breaking this scene down very carefully, but I can't do that here. I'm restrained by this being an overall review of the picture. I'm just touching on this real quick. There's a scene where Rick Dalton is acting in this Western, and it's being shown to us as the TV show through the film, the same aspect ratio, the same pacing, and any rhythm. There aren't any casting. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had Pacino, so it sounds confusing just to discuss it because purposefully through the eyes, and what you're seeing in real style that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is being shown.
Good evening. It's intermission time, and during the next 10 minutes, we invite you to visit our refreshment stand located in the center of the drive-in.
Fact and fiction get blurred so much in this movie to the point that reality is distorted, and I don't think Tarantino is wanting us to watch a fantasy. I think he's actually trying to bring us into an alternate reality, another version of life. Depending on how familiar you are with the gruesome details of the Tate murders, you might get a little watery-eyed at the end of this movie. Guys, I'm going to give Once Upon a Time in Hollywood an 8 out of 10. I don't know if one day that rating is going to go up because there's so much to unpack here. And again, I think that if you're a Tarantino fan, this is a required viewing. Go see it in the theater. Go see it with a big crowd. It gets pretty jaw-dropping in the final act. It gets pretty unbelievable. I'm not going to go into detail at all. I think I could spend 20 or 30 minutes just giving you a breakdown of this film and what a lot of it really means, and Tarantino's own self-reflection getting into the movie, and then how this is actually a Western disguised in this 2-hour and 45-minute movie. There's a lot to look at here. And I don't mean just visually, I mean to examine. There's a lot going on in this picture. Guys, as always, make sure to leave your comment, like the video, and subscribe so you can stay inside the mind of a movie maniac.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.